Shalom YouTube, it's your boy Micaiah, aka the Hawkeye Hebrew, coming at you with another build video. And real quick, I have to apologize if I put out any misinformation. I thought for sure that update 33 was coming this week, which technically it did for PC, but for myself and playing on Xbox and anybody playing on PlayStation, we won't actually get the update till March 29th, which is kind of a bummer because I was really excited to see what my stats look like once they had the hybridized potential to them. So anyway, I still wanted to put out the build like I said I would. So let's go ahead and look at the character sheet. Our max magic is coming in at 15,000. Our max health is 25,000. Our max stamina is 23,000. Our stam recovery is coming in at 2,082. Let's see our buff weapon damage. Our weapon damage is 6,700, and we have 6K base pin. Our resistance is 21,000 resistance, and we have 1,800 crit resist, which pretty much basic crit resist. Let's look at the ulti with the full Balord proc. $7,457 weapon damage and 17,539 penetration. And you can basically add an extra 5K penetration to that if you use your Noxious Breath. So we have quite a bit of penetration. Let's look at the gear sets. For the first 5-piece set I'm using is Ancient Dragon Guard, and we're dual wielding this set. So I have my main hand Nirnhome, and the second 5-piece set we're using is New Moon Acolyte. So I have that sword sharpened. I basically wanted to pair these two sets together to get as much raw damage and penetration as I could, like flat damage and penetration. And I didn't want to have to rely on something like Clever Alchemist's proc, which, I mean, it only has like, Clever Alch only has like a, 25-second cooldown between when you can use your potion again. But even still, I wanted something a little more consistent. So I decided to go with the Ancient Dragon Guard and New Moon combo. Both of these are two of my favorite sets in the game, so I went ahead and combined the two. And originally, the concept behind Ancient Dragon Guard for this build in particular was I was going to run Blood Spawn with it and try to have a lot of damage, but also have a lot of resistance. And as I was testing the build in Battlegrounds, man, everybody hit so hard. My extra resistance didn't even feel like I had it. Like I was still getting bursted through my almost 28K resistance. So I decided to drop Blood Spawn, and I went with Balord for the Monster Helm. And I really don't regret that decision. All these sets pair well. So on the dual wield bar, we have double dot poisons. Like I said, we have the Ancient Dragon Guard Greatsword powered on the back bar for healing. I also have a poison enchant on there. Balorg is the monster set. You have medium and medium. My head is MPN, shoulders is divines. That would probably be MPN if I trait changed it. And for our chest and legs, they're both heavy reinforced with the multi-effect enchant on them, as you can see. And then I actually have a lot of my little pieces high key Jode as well, the multi effect enchant. And all of those are NPN on the small pieces. All our jewelry is infused. We have a stam recovery on the necklace and weapon damage on the rings. I'm not sure. Let me go back real quick. I'm not sure if I went over to this area. We have 64 points in the max stam. My race is a dark elf. The food I'm using is the tripe trifle pocket, and I got the lover mundus. As far as skills go, we have spin the wind, aka whirling blades, venomous claw, resolving vigor. We're using stone giant. I'll come back to this skill in a little bit. Fossilize, take flight. Our back bar is noxious breath, volatile armor, rally, coagulating blood, and cauterize. So the skills that I was kind of interested in seeing hybridize was the coagulating blood or volatile armor, the dot that's on there, and how much damage it does to somebody that's melee attacking us. I was curious to see what that looked like as well. And then fossilize. With this scaling off stam, I was wondering how much harder it would hit actually. Because it's not the, I mean, I guess it's not the worst, but it's not the best tooltip either. But I was wondering if it would at least double with everything scaling off stam. Back to this ability, the Stone Giant. The reason I like this ability because it's a Earth and Heart ability. And every time you use it, you get minor brutality. And if you are in combat, you generate 3 ultimate. This can occur once every 6 seconds. So in combat, if I hit, boom, that procs my minor brutality. And then if I throw one of these rocks again, that'll generate more ultimate and it'll re-trigger minor brutality. It'll start the countdown over. And every time you throw one of these stones at somebody, it resets the minor brutality buff. But it also applies stagger to the enemy, which increases their damage taken by 65 per stack. So, and we get a really good tooltip on this ability. This thing is hitting for almost 10K on the initial stomp, and every time you throw it at somebody, it's hitting for almost 10K. Our Vigor tooltip is 20K, getting almost an 18K dot from there. Spin the Wind is 7,500. Let's look at the leap. 20K leap. Our Noxious Breath is hitting for 7K on the initial hit with a 13K dot. That's crazy. And our Cauterize is 7,500. So, and then the other ability, Coagulating Blood, 8,800. I feel like that would go up a lot with this if this skill is hybridized. And I was kind of curious. I know I've seen like mag DK builds in the past where this thing was almost at 12K. So I was really curious to see what it looked like, but I have to show that in a future build or gameplay or something, maybe show some screenshots. But that's pretty much the skills. I was trying to stick with the earthbending theme, so that also is why the Stone Giant and the Fossilized skills are being used. And on my back bar, I also originally had Fragmented Shield, but I found this setup to be better healing, like better healing and better survivability for me. You could definitely swap out one of these skills, Coag or Cauterize, if you don't like that, for Fragmented. But I found this to be better healing for how I play the game. So you can kind of move the skills around and adjust them based on your play style. But that's pretty much the build. Hopefully you guys enjoy it, and hopefully you enjoy the gameplay at the end. And I'll catch you all next time.